5 minutes Portuguese for Missionaries, Lesson 2. Okay, so here we are. We talked last time about estimado missionario, and that's how we ended up. And estimado is esteemed. And anytime we have an English word that ends in ed, a verb that ends in ed, we put ado or ada, depending on what's esteemed, whether it's masculine or feminine, okay? And so in lesson 2, we go to the next sentence. Queremos parabenizá-lo pela grande oportunidade que você tem de ser missionário de a Igreja de Jesus Cristo dos Santos dos Últimos Dias. So, we want to congratulate you for the great opportunity that you have to be a missionary of the Church of Jesus Christ, of saints of the last days. What's interesting here, we talked about this before, do or da or dos or das is basically of plus the, right? And últimos dias is last days. That's plural, so it ends in S. And it's also os, which means, well, últimos dias. I know dia, the word dia, ends in an A, but it's one of those words that ends in an A, but it's actually a masculine word, interestingly enough. So últimos, it's os instead of as here. Últimos dias, okay? Now, let's talk about this very important verb right here, queremos. Okay, queremos. And that's probably what we'll have time to learn today is queremos. It's the verb, it comes from the verb querer, okay? Which means to want. And to say that, so I'm going to underline that. To say, I want, we would say, eu quero. To say, you want, we would say você. Well, there's two ways of saying it. There's você quer. You can also say tu quieres. Generally, tu, in Brazil, tu is the more formal, você is the more informal. And in Portugal, it's reversed. Você is the more informal, and tu is the more formal. Tu quieres, okay? And generally, we just put an S on the end when we say tu, so you, formal. Well, it depends on where we're going. If we're going to Mozambique or Portugal, for example, tu is the more informal, right? I think, yes, informal. I think that's right. I'd have to double check that. And você would be formal. And in Brazil, it's the opposite. Pretty sure. Anyway, so to say we want, it would be queremos, or nos queremos. To say you all, y'all, y'all want, we would say vocês querem. To say they want, we would say eles, or elas, depending on if it's male or female. girls or boys, men or women. Querem, it's the same ending. Plural, so the plural is kind of the em ending. And then there's another one, vos, y'all. And I think and I have to figure out the rules for Portuguese, for Portuguese in Mozambique. But that's queres. But the ones, well, for Brazilian, basically we have memorized is eu, você, nós, vocês, and eles or elas. And that's it. So that is the lesson. So when we go here, we say queremos, that's we want to congratulate you. And that's it. So learning that verb, because we use the word to want a lot, it's really good to memorize those conjugations. Eu quero, você quer, tu queres, nós queremos, vocês querem, eles querem, elas querem, and vós quereis. And that's it for today.